Welcome to your home menopause video. These are all the poses that I suggest to do to help with symptoms, to help with low back pain, fatigue, and irritability. And all of these poses will help alleviate the effects. So here is forward fold. I'm showing a variety of ways to lengthen. You might bend the knees a lot more because of the hamstrings. Let the head dangle. And then you might even do a tiny bend of the knees just to help release the low back. It's also nice to hang the arms as I've done there, Raggedy Ann-like, and that releases the shoulders. And then as you tip to the left, you'll stretch the right side, and then tip to the right, and you stretch the left side. And these are great ways to lengthen each side of the low back. This is an area that can get quite tight. And then you slowly do a spinal roll-up to hit each area of the vertebrae. You want to remember that the muscles of the spine can get quite tight during menopause because of the reduced estrogen. And then downward dog is always brilliant. Now here, I'm able to keep the heels down, but you might have your heels way off the ground. I sure did for the first 8 years. So just notice that you're really tipping the bum bones up. Notice that I keep pulling the core in and up. And I'm exaggerating the movement here just to show you that you really tip the bum bones high. Just kind of imagine you're trying to send a fart out. that basically will help the position. And then you come on down to tabletop position or all fours. Point the toes. And then we're going to come down slowly onto your back. And at any moment, and here I'm wriggling the shoulder blades under. At any moment, feel free to pause the video. Pull the knees into the chest. And then do check that you've got your whole spine on the floor. Draw the left knee in, twist over to the left, that's your right knee. Draw it up and turn over to the left. The right arm is out to the side. And it's really good to make sure the shoulder blade is under. So I'll often wriggle the shoulder blade under once I've landed. Tuck the knee in, and you always do the right knee first. And then draw the left knee in, because this is your descending colon, so you do the ascending colon first. And then twist over to the right. Gaze to your left. Here again, I'm showing how to make sure the shoulder blade is under, that you're really letting the head go. So sometimes you have to do, I find anyways, lifting the chin or the head off the ground to help get the parts of the upper back down is really helpful. So just wiggle until you know more of your body is in contact with the ground. And then hug in. Final squeeze of the knee. And these are so great for the low back. Then just wiggle your hips. Make sure you're on the ground well. Now we come into bounce angle pose, often referred to as cobbler pose or butterfly. The arms come overhead. There's a lot of positions you can do with your hands here, but just make sure you reach them out a lot. Open the top third of the lungs. And then it's so good, if you can, to grab onto the elbows. And I truly mean if you can. If that's too much of an impingement in through the shoulders, right through the top, then just keep the arms out. And again, wriggle the shoulder blades under. If it's painful for the inner thighs, it's too much of a pull, you would put a pillow or a block or a book or whatever you've got underneath the thighs. Now I'm showing how the rotator cuffs can be exercised here. This is pure rotator cuff. The elbows are down on the ground, and they're like a guillotine with the arms, and then you can maybe be able to come all the way down. If you can please do this on a regular basis, because the rotator cuff, the shoulder girdle, can get so reduced because of the reduced estrogen, the range of motion in it. So I really want you to keep working that rotator cuff. A lot of my students have gotten shoulder problems during the reduction in estrogen. And one of my students got frozen shoulder for about 3 years. Very difficult. She had to stop playing volleyball. So here you might do this pose on the bolster. And again, if it's too much for the inner thighs, you'd keep the knees up to the ceiling. But if it's a piece of cake, just bring the soles of the feet together. Press them together gently, because that helps to rotate the knees out. You don't want to slam them down. That's not the point. It's more to press the feet together to get the knees to splay out. The arms can go high if that's ever so good. And I really do advocate this gentle back bend. because you're supported. It's going to stimulate the adrenals, which is really helpful for the time of estrogen reducing, because the adrenal glands do help with the production of estrogen once it starts to lower by the ovaries starting to shut down and the reduced estrogen. So any kind of back bend, a gentle one like this, is good. I find some people won't have a bolster, right? So these are about the size of couch pillows. They're meditation pillows, and you can use them. I usually stack 4 of a couch pillow, and then put your low back right up against the pillows. Take your arms up, back, out to the side. The breathing is always in and out through the nose. And again, make sure the shoulder blades are under. You might just wriggle them under side by side. The tailbone is on the ground. If that's nasty, then you would put a little block or a little narrow pillow under there, but not too high. So that's the way to do it with pillows if you don't have a bolster, which most people don't. And then the other thing you can do is hero pose, it's called. Now here again, I'm going way back, and this is the extreme sport of opening up the lower pelvic floor, which really starts to loosen from the reduced estrogen. It's just not fair. I found I gained quite a bit of loose skin in that area, and the body really changed. And you can still keep the muscles toned. They just won't have the same degree of tone for some people. Like me, they didn't. I'm very fair-skinned. And then you might use a bolster. And you might need to keep it up high. So here I'm showing how to use pillows. You can use a block. You could use a stack of books. And you take the feet under again. So again, this could be extreme. And then you lie back. So all of these poses that I'm showing on the floor are restorative poses. And a restorative pose means that it's not lowering the blood pressure, but it could, but it's eliciting the parasympathetic nervous system. And that's the rest and digest. It helps the body to regulate the nervous system back to a very relaxation response. The arms could come overhead because that helps to open the rib cage and the lungs. So again, as you can hear, I'm quite a fan of opening up the lungs, because the blood pressure can change during menopause and perimenopause. In fact, it often rises. And I won't get onto the reasons of all of it because of the hormones, but please suffice it to say it's really important to keep the rib cage open, to have a fuller breath. And also a fuller breath will help with relaxing. So now I'm coming into another forward bend. This one's a little bit more effective for opening the low back. I'm going to show you in the forward position first. So the hands are on the waist. The head stays straight out from the neck. The arms come over, and you reach the wrists towards the opposite, like towards the head side of the body. You're pulling the bum bones up, just like in downward dog, but you're splitting the hips a bit, and that helps to release the back more. You'll feel all 4 corners of the feet. You'll see my feet are turned in about 4 degrees, and that helps to open up the femurs, the thigh bones. Some people will keep their feet more turned out. Now, I'll just show you this from the side, and please know that this took me 8 years to get my arms that far over. So again, I really want you to keep the chest open, the lungs, the shoulders, and tipping the bum back, extending the arms over, the head falls. You're really shifting towards the fronts like the balls of the feet so that the bum bones come up high. And sometimes you have to step your feet in a little wider because your head might hit the floor. I have a short torso, so it's a piece of cake. But try not to hammer your arms down, like press them down. You want to let them reach out to land wherever they go, not hammer them down. Slowly, slowly come up. Keep the knees soft as you lift. And come on all the way back up to standing. And those are some of the very best poses that you can do for perimenopause and menopause.